All right, so welcome to what is probably going to be the most challenging video I do. And it's not challenging in the sense that the recipe is difficult, it's challenging in how I'm going to film it today. So, what I'd love for you to do is check out my intro, come on back, and see what makes this such a challenge. So thanks for sticking around. So let's get into what's going to make this recipe so challenging. And it's not the fact that I'm making a recipe. I make lots of recipes. I'm going to do this one in a single take. There's going to be no edits. You're going to have an overhead camera up here, which I will overlay, and you'll have the camera straight in front of me here. I'm going to try to make a chicken pot pie for under $4 a serving and in under 30 minutes. Because according to what I can find online, the most interesting or most searched for videos that you guys like to watch are few ingredients, quick, and cheap. So I'm going to try and hit all three of those niches at one time. So let's get into it. And you can see it is 10:53, so I need to be done by 11:23. Just going to move this stuff off to the side for now. We're going to start with our chicken. So I lucked out today. I was trying to figure out exactly what I was going to make today, and I was at the grocery store, and chicken was half price. So guess what? We're making chicken. I don't always use gloves, but with chicken I kind of like to. Grab some paper towel. Take these. Just going to pat these dry. They'll sear better when you fry them. And we'll give them a quick trim. Make sure there's not a lot of gross fatty bits. I will put in the description exactly what ingredients I used, and I will also do a cost breakdown at the very end. So what we're going to do is we're going to cut these in half. I'm going to butterfly the fat part. Be careful not to cut yourself. This will make it easier for you to have smaller bite-sized pieces. Now, I apologize, there will be some dead air because I'm going to concentrate and probably forget to say things at times. What I'd really love is if you have a second, if you could hop on down to the comments. I'm trying to figure out a name for this series. I mean, do I want under 5 and 30? Well, not under 5, I guess. I'm going to use more than... Probably use exactly 5 ingredients sometimes. I'm going to trim this one. It's a little thick there. I'm going to trim this one. Okay. Then we're going to cube this. Cut it into bite-sized pieces. So what I have here, I got 700 grams of chicken. I paid about $2 a piece for the chicken breasts, which is unheard of where I am. Now, if you're going to buy meat that is on sale, please make sure you're checking the dates. The whole reason these were on sale was because they are best before today. So it doesn't mean they're bad, it just means I either have to cook or freeze them today. So here we are cooking them. Oops. Trying not to rush, hurt myself. I will post a second variation of this video. It will be the edited variation, so it'll be up twice. So if you want to watch a shorter version, look for that one. Actually, I'll probably just link it at the end of this video. And I'll link this video to the end of the shorter one in case anybody wants to watch the full-length video. Now your bite-sized pieces, trim that off, might be different than my bite-sized pieces. I have a pretty big mouth. Picked up this new burner this week. So I'll be able to cook right here on my my workspace without having to turn around. Should save me some time in the future. Won't have to move my camera setup around so much in order to film me over at the stovetop. Now we went with 700 grams of chicken because if you were to look it up, the average serving of protein per person is about 113 grams. That's about 600 and, for 6 servings, 682 grams. So 700 is fine. Plus it gives you room to trim. The other thing we're going to be doing here is we're not going to be using, now I could show you how to make a cream sauce and a roux and all that other stuff in order to make your own cream to make your chicken stew or we call it, listen, in my house we grew up calling it chicken pot pie. My wife gives me a hard time because there is no crust, but this is what we called it. Okay, chicken's done. Grab our pot. This has a big fan on it, so I'm hoping it's not going to be too loud for you guys. We're going to find out here in a minute. I'm going to turn this to a medium high. It will heat up really quickly because it's an induction heat burner. It's going to add some olive oil. Apologize, my cleanup will be very rough because, well, we don't have time. We're going to try and get this done fast. So that's already heating up pretty quick. While that's heating up, actually, what we will do, again, in the interest of speed, I will take our frozen mixed veggies, dump them in a microwave safe bowl. Add some water. All right, now we'll put that in the microwave. So that's getting nice and hot. I can hear the oil sizzling. We'll get our chicken added. Let that cook down. We got those going. We'll need these. Let's get these cans open while we're waiting. So we're going to use a combination of the cream of chicken soup and the chicken stock to create our soup base, or pie base, whatever you prefer you're going to call it. If you weren't going to do it that way, then you'd create a traditional roux with flour and butter, and then you'd use cream to create your own sauce. But we're not doing that today because, again, we're trying to get this done quick. So think of it this way. It's 5:30, you just walked in the door in hockey practice at 6:30 and you need something to eat. You do not have hours to be making a proper dish. And while that cooks down, grab my measuring cup, grab that. This is kind of the problem with doing everything without any edits is every time I forget something, I usually edit out when I go and grab it. Can't do that today. And we're gonna use 2 cups of chicken broth there. Now, I didn't go with no name for any other reason except for the fact that it's cheap. And the whole point to this whole thing is to try and get this on the table as cheap as humanly possible. So I'll give you a quick price breakdown of what I paid for everything here while this cooks down. I paid $2 a can for the cream of mushroom soup or cream of chicken soup, so there's $6 there. It was $1.75 for the broth, but we're only using about half of it, so we'll say $1 worth, so we're at like $7. The chicken breast, because I got them on sale, they were about $2, so about $6.25 for the 3 of them. What am I forgetting? The veggies that are microwaving were $4. Let's check my list. And because I saved so much money on the chicken, I actually went down to my market and picked up some tea biscuits. Now, normally if I had more time, I would make tea biscuits, which I would then float on top of this and throw it in the oven for 20 or 30 or 15 or 20 minutes, I think it is, until the tea biscuits are done. I don't have that time because we're trying to stay under 30 minutes, right? So we're a little bit limited as to how we can do this. The tea biscuits, what I'll do with those is I'll cut them open. I'll cut them into each half into quarters. That'll give me 8 pieces to put on each. And that will be about 50 cents a serving. So my math breakdown, go over that now while I have time. So again, $2, $4, chicken breast, $6.25 for 3 of them. Tea biscuits will be 50 cents a piece. The broth will be $1.75. I calculated that we're using enough that it'll be 97 cents. So that's $6 plus $4 plus $3.25 plus $3 for the biscuits plus 97 cents. $20.22. I estimate you'll get 6 servings for a price point of $3.37 a serving. So again, quick, cheap, easy. Okay, so we add cream of chicken soup. Now, normally the directions of this, you add 1 can of liquid per can of soup. And you can do that if you want to. I'm looking to make mine a little bit thicker because I want it to be quote unquote creamier. So I'm going to mix mine with the broth, and I'm only going to use about 3 to 2. So 3 cans of soup to 2 cans of the broth. I'm not going to salt or pepper this right now, and the only reason I'm not is because the soup and the broth tend to be a little bit higher in sodium, and I'm not trying to add like a whole bunch of extra salt there that I don't need. So I'm going to hold off on the salt till the end. If I were making this as a broth from scratch, then I would definitely use salt and pepper. Other substitutions that you could make if you so desire. You could use milk or heavy cream instead of broth if you want it to be thicker and richer. That would also be a possibility. You could use more broth or less broth depending on how soupy you want it to be. And after this cooks down, I may or may not add more, but I figure with the leftover liquid from the chicken, along with whatever moisture we're going to pull out of the veggies when they're done, I think we're going to have enough liquid in here to make it pretty soupy. And yes, it is a technical term. And to my wife, who's probably going to watch this with me, yes, I'm going to disinfect the sink. Now, probably won't be able to get this out of the shot. The only editing you're going to see, I am going to crop in a little bit to make this look a little tighter. You won't see it because it'll already be cropped in when you're watching it, but you may or may not see this setup. I don't have a professional camera set up right now. I have this lovely overhead setup I bought on Amazon with my cell phone sitting in the top that is hopefully recording. Yes. And we've been recording for 17 minutes. According to my clock here, I have been, goodness gracious, I have been 14 minutes. Yeah, it took me about 3 minutes to figure out what I was going to do here and how. So once again, we'll have a moment. I'm going to ask you, please click the subscribe button down below. I'd really like to hear some comments, some ideas. What should I call this segment? I mean, yeah, I mean, what if we smoked? It was a pretty good series. It was a pretty easy name to come up with, but what should I call this one? So the goal, just for the future, for record, is I'm going to try and make as many videos as I can that will be preferably 5 ingredients or less, not including staple ingredients. Now, things like salt, pepper, seasonings, they don't count. Anything you probably would have in your pantry on any given day. So for example, with this, if you really wanted to stretch the servings a little bit more, you could throw a couple of cups of cooked rice in there. Well, I think everybody has cooked rice in their kitchen, don't they? Like, does anybody not have rice in their pantry? You could throw pasta in here too if you wanted to. Nothing wrong with that at all. How are we doing on those veggies? Ooh, veggies are almost done. Colander, because I forgot that part too. Oh. So we will strain these. And this is just a standard veggie mix. So peas, carrots, corn, and my least favorite, lima beans. Okay. Continue to let that simmer, and while it does, extra cutting board. Let's grab an extra bowl. Multitasking, that is part of the key. So, tea biscuits. You can make them if you want. I bought them. Ignore the messy cover. All we're going to do with these, we're going to cut them just as if you're going to eat them normally, and then cube them. We're going to float these on top. Now, if you're not looking to be super quick, you're not super pressed for time, I would consider buttering a frying pan and toasting these on the stovetop. Almost like you would a crouton. In fact, that's almost done. I'm probably going to have enough time. If I wanted to do that, I probably could. I will put all the ingredients, all the costs, and the methods in the description. We'll also put a graphic on the screen at some point in time to show you all the price breakdown so you can visually see it. I know some people have a hard time with just hearing it, that they need to visually see something, so I will gladly put that up for you. And listen, for all intents and purposes, folks, it's done. You could eat this right now. But what I'm going to do, because I have, look at me, I have, what do I get, 10 minutes? Oh, forgot, rules of induction. Pause. Take this. Let's do it. Let's grab. I'm only gonna do 4 because my family's not gonna be here to eat this until later tonight, so no point toasting them all up. But I have more than enough time right now. I've still got about 10 minutes left. This induction heats up pretty quick. Feel free to fast forward, jump around as you see fit. I know it's gonna be tough to watch a 30-minute YouTube video with 0 cuts. It'll probably be more like 5 when I trim it down. This is one of those boring parts where we're waiting for something to happen so that I can do something else. Let's spread some of the soil around. There we go. So we're just going to take these, toss them right in there. Just adds that a little bit of texture, a little bit of crunch. We're going to toast them up. Put these so they get the cut sides down to start. And when I watch this back, I'm going to find out exactly how loud that fan is. So, I was born on a cold winter day in 1976. Yeah. So, if there are any dishes that you would like to see made simpler, I mean, the whole show premise is called Cooking Simplified, and the whole purpose, I came up with the channel because I wanted to be able to show people that not everything has to be complicated. We're not all Bobby Flays here. Like, some of us are average Joes who just don't have a lot of time. Look at that. We're getting, oh, look at that. So that shouldn't be much longer. This is nearly done. Let's serve up a bowl real quick. I have somewhere. Sorry, I just don't want to put this pot directly on the. Some of these are looking really, really good here. See if I can get the editor, me, to do a quick zoom in on this. I don't know how well you'll be able to see it. How's that look up there? See that? How's that? Oh, that looks nice and toasty. Okay. Look, I'm going to be honest with you guys. I don't know how to fill the dead air. This would be a lot easier if there's somebody here. If you wanted to have a chit chat, we could. Let's get this dished out. A little extra broth in there. Sorry, might need a clean bowl for the thumbnail. Okay, so we still have about 3 minutes left. Oh, you hear that sizzle when it hit? So, there you go. There you have it. We did it. It is 11:20. We are done. This is ready to serve. You're under 30 minutes on the table. You have veggies, you have carbohydrates, you have protein, you have everything you need in that bowl. See how good it is. Let's make sure we get a... It's going to be hot. I'm going to burn myself, I guarantee it. I'm not upset at the idea of toasting those. I'm glad I had the extra few minutes to toast those because they're a little bit crispy like a crouton. It's a delicious supper. And like I said, if you need to stretch this a little bit further, feel free. Add a couple of cups of leftover rice from the fridge. It's just going to give you more volume and allow you to stretch it a couple extra servings. That would bring the cost per serving down even further. So what I'm going to do at some point in time, you're going to see one side or the other. I'm going to set up some graphics so that you can visually see the cost for each item, how much of it we use, the ingredients, everything will be in the bottom. I'll also put the cost down there as well so you don't have to flip back through the video to see how much it costs. And for now, I'm going to ask you to please comment, like, subscribe. This is something that I'm enjoying doing and I want to keep doing it with you. And I love the fact that so far, like 180 of you have already subscribed to the channel. And for me, that's actually amazing. It's far more than I figured it would be. So let me know. What do I need to make next? What should I simplify next so that you can make it with pre-made ingredients and just have supper quickly? Thank you for now. please remember, in my kitchen, no one leaves hungry.